morning. It's Monday here, Longshore McKnight. Let's kick it off. Brand new week. So glad you are with us here today. Middle of May. You know that time of year, folks. Yeah.
It's a sad time. It's a sad time. Over the weekend, yep. NBA went on. Yep. Braves win the series against the Dodgers. Somebody said, let me see how they do against the Dodgers. More on that.
Yeah. Like I said, middle of May. Not even the middle of May yet.
Alabama softball loses in the SEC tournament championship game to Texas.
Yeah, so what?
Big deal.
Yeah.
Alabama has shown that they can they can lose to somebody and still, play.
Yeah.
Alabama loses to Texas in the SEC softball tournament championship, but they're the number one overall seed, and they are hosting. They open up at Rhodes Stadium against Southeastern Louisiana. And before the text hotline gets going, Auburn didn't make it. Okay, just so you guys know.
Auburn's really? Wow. Wait a minute. You're telling me USC Upstate made it, Belmont, which I thought was a horse race, and some directional school out of Louisiana made it, and Auburn did not? Whoa.
I think 12 SEC teams did make it, but
whoa.
The news of the day.
Philip. I mean, that's all how would he have, I don't want to say spun this. That's cheap, but how would he have told the story of the demise of the Lady Tiger softball program and used one of my famous lines, how have they fallen so far so fast?
The SEC had, I think, 12 teams made it to the NCAA softball tournament, but I don't want to muddy up the waters and cloud up
wait a minute, hold on. Vandy does not have a softball program, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Somebody else doesn't either. I don't think
so. There's 14 programs. 2 didn't make it. Ooh. Let's just move on. Don't look. Let's just.
I'm trying. Believe me, I'm trying. I'm doing my very best. The news of the day, as eloquently stated by John from Wetumpka.
Yeah.
The greatest skipper in Braves history leaves us. John's already mentioned Philip Marshall, who has left us as well.
Yeah.
Bobby Cox, who won 14 consecutive division championships as skipper of the Braves, and that one World Series, passes away.
I wasn't going to get to that. I mean, we'll let the guy rest in peace. But
over the week, hey, he won a World Series title.
Yeah, wow, yeah. So did the guy managing the Florida Marlins twice. Can't even think of who that was.
Jim Leland. But passes away over the weekend at the age of 84. It's been a difficult year so far. Philip Marshall passes. Bobby Cox passes. 2 of the linchpins of our programming for a long time. Last week was just a bad week for Braves fans. Ted passes. Ted Turner passes at 87.
A former Braves manager himself.
Yeah. Bobby Cox passes. Hall of Fame manager.
Yeah.
Great. The outpouring from everybody. Gosh, you saw on Twitter stories from Dale, a Bobby Cox story from Chipper, all over the place.
Wow.
Hailing the greatest manager in Atlanta Braves history and a Hall of Famer in every sense.
14 division titles, you say, huh?
Yes, 14 straight.
And eked out 1 World Series championship with a swing from the knees, happened to go over the fence against the Cleveland Indians in a game I was at. I saw with my own 2 eyes. David Justice closed his eyes and said, I'll take a chance, and he got lucky.
See, I'm not even mad because I knew this was coming. I could have scripted it for John. He may have a teleprompter in front of him right now, because anytime we mention the Braves or anytime we mention Bobby Cox, this is what we get, because that's...
Let me peel the layers back a little bit. I don't want it to...
84 years old. Quite the legacy. Quite the
Braves were absolutely terrible. A laughingstock An afterthought. Nobody cared about the Braves. Fulton County, 3,000 people, if they're lucky, and giving away a bobblehead, a free beer. I remember those days. And then I can't remember really who the architect was, the general manager who built the program.
John Schuerholz.
John Schuerholz came over from Kansas City Royals, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember that one. And built this team that this guy just happened to have the opportunity to manage with the greatest lineup. It ekes out one title. One?
So wrong. So wrong.
14 straight division titles, but what happened when you got to the big dance? Well, let's don't talk about that.
14 straight.
Yeah.
He was in every year. Yeah. And that's better than, 2 in a row and then an 8-year dry spell and then 1 in a row. And then, maybe 10 years later you get in.
Well, the Montreal Expos in that division at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So were the Marlins. But it continues on. His legacy continues. Again, John from Wetumpka. Braves win the series against the Dodgers. Somebody say, hey, let's see how they do against all of this blah, blah, blah about the Rockies and about the Marlins. Well, the Braves won the final 2 games of the series with identical 7-2 scores, powered by strong pitching from Bryce Elder and Spencer Strider. Great series win. Braves are 9 games ahead
Bob.
of
Just
second
give us
place.
A minute, Bob. We got to get through the baseball, Bob. Just don't panic.
He died. He passed away. He's no longer there, and John is still. He's gone.
I never met Bobby Cox. I mean, I saw him on TV. He seemed like a guy you'd like to have a beer with.
Yeah, cigar.
He had that pitching coach that rocked around all the time in the dugout.
I'm tired of supplying names to all of this. You guys have heard all of it. It's Leo Mazzoni. You guys have heard all of this. You guys knew this was coming today because that's what he's got with the Braves.
Speaking of Mazzoni, Barry, I saw where former Auburn offensive coordinator Noel Mazzoni is the coach of some UFL team. I think the Dallas Renegades, maybe.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mazzoni, that's a name you don't see very often. You want to talk UFL or want to talk Bobby Cox? I'm just kidding around. So
that's the news of the day. We can certainly move on, but I wanted to commemorate his memory. One of the greatest managers, I think the fourth winningest manager all time in Major League Baseball. But it was John Schuerholz that really did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Or that guy down with the Marlins who didn't win as many consecutive division championships, but he won 2 World Series, and that's where everybody's putting their hat. Hey, 2 World Series championships? Wow, man, this guy must be pretty well. Well, he only won like 3 division championships, but he won those 2 World Series. He's not as good, though. Didn't win as many divisions. But how many managers have the Braves had since Bobby Cox?
Ooh. All right, Freddie. John asked.
I'm just curious.
John asked. Freddie Gonzalez. Gosh.
Yeah. Freddie Gonzalez.
Do you want? I mean, we. All right.
Just a number. I mean, I don't care about the name. I mean, you could tell me Bob Hope, and I'd go, okay.
But John wanted that out there. I want to say 4.
4.
I want to say 4. Yep.
Okay.
Since Bobby Cox. Yeah. And, the Braves they win the series against the Dodgers.
Oh.
They are in first place by 9 games. And it continues on.
Yeah. Let me see here.
For the Atlanta Braves.
9 games, they say. Let's see. Yeah. Everybody in their division is under 500. There's a shock.
Now, let me say this. There's actually only been 3. Freddie Gonzalez, Brian Snitker, who was there for a long time, like 10 years, and Walt Weiss, who's the current manager right now.
What other manager won a World Series title other than Bobby Cox?
In Braves history, it's just him. I mean, they've had others. George Stallings won
so
one.
He only won 1 in Atlanta or 2?
Atlanta, the Braves themselves, he won the World Series in 92. won the World Series in, all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank. But yeah. 2.
They beat Cleveland in that one. They got beat by the Yankees in one.
Oh, my gosh. They've gotten beaten by a couple. Yes.
Let's see. The Minnesota Twins beat them. Remember that when Ronnie Gant got pulled off the bag.
That's his knowledge of the 1991 World Series right there. That's
Braves memories. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that about old Bobby.
Yeah, you can tell it in your voice. Yeah. The regret is dripping
Had he been
from
ill?
your words.
Or was
he'd been ill. He's old. I mean, he's 84. So yeah.
Wow, I mean, he's like 22 years older than me. Wow, it makes me feel old.
We're getting there. We're getting up there. Yep. Also, Alabama baseball, they sweep South Carolina as they should have. Auburn wins 2 out of 3. They win the series at Mississippi State, which is hard to do. They looked impressive in their last 2 games.
Alabama sweeps South Carolina as they should.
Yeah, South Carolina's terrible. South Carolina is now, I think, 22-30 overall.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had not won that, they had not swept that, I would have been shocked.
Would have heard something then.
Well, you're hearing something now.
Braves win 2 of 3. I mean, Auburn takes 2 of 3
at Mississippi State. Lost the opener again. They started on Thursday.
Yeah. Wow, got Georgia up next, I believe.
Yep, and Troy wins.
Really good.
Troy, Georgia's all that. They have already clinched the SEC championship. Georgia has. Well, Georgia's great. I've seen
Auburn focuses all their attention on the Georgia Bulldogs, which I assume will be billed as the series between the South's oldest continuous baseball rivalry. They better not overlook Jack State, who I believe ruled them earlier this year.
Back in Auburn, they did.
Yeah.
They're playing Jacksonville State in Jacksonville.
Don't overlook that.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah.
Hey, didn't Bobby Cox, not to just go ahead and, move on to another subject, didn't he hold the record for being ejected more than any other manager in Major League Baseball?
Yes, more than any other manager in Major League history. And before you ask, no, I don't know how many times.
Well, I'm sure I will hear things like, well, he managed for so long. What do you expect? Heck yeah, he's there more than any other manager, so he's got more opportunity to get ejected.
He's known for several things in his managerial career. Of course, he was a general manager for a while. He's known as a Hall of Fame manager, 4th winningest manager in Major League Baseball history. He's known for his cigars. Smoked a lot of cigars, and he's known for getting thrown out a lot.
Yeah.
For those casual baseball fans, of which I wouldn't even call John even one of those, that's what they know him for. Yeah, he got thrown out a lot.
Speaking of baseball, I mean, I'm all over the map today. You got me really energized today on this baseball topic. I was listening to our good friends. I guess it was Friday up on Jocks up in Birmingham. Pat Smith and Landrum and all those guys who do a great job. And Pat's a big baseball guy. He's a Cardinals fan. And he was informing his audience. He just didn't seem to be overly happy about what he was telling his audience, that the World Series is going to be on FS1, that Big Ten football is going to bump America's pastime, what I'm led to believe is the greatest sporting event of all time, off of a major over-the-air network to a subsidiary of Fox Sports, FS1. So Big Ten football can take that spot. I thought, really? I thought the World Series was a big deal. But, of course, they didn't rate a World Series game in the top 100 sporting events.
And there we go. Now we can go to break. We have hit John's baseball trifecta. He has taken 3 pitches. He's swung at the 3 pitches. And now we can move on. But
in all seriousness, I mean, a couple of things here. Is the Big Ten so big and bad that they can tell baseball, we're taking those fall prime slots on Fox. You and Joe Buck and the crew can go to FS1. Whoever does baseball. I don't even know who does. I guess Joe Buck.
Joe Buck hadn't been at Fox in 4 years.
So you guys are going to FS1. Could you imagine the Super Bowl on FS1?
Wow. No.
Yeah. No. But that really surprised me. What really hit me, though, Barry, is maybe the Big Ten's a little more powerful than I thought. I mean, I just saw where Michigan worked up some deal where with some AI company or whatnot. I mean, some multi-million-dollar deal. I'm thinking, man, that NIL is going to be rolling.
Yeah, they got a lot going on.
Better tighten up. It looks like that Big Ten might be everything I'm hearing it's about.
Yeah. Well, R.I.P. Bobby Cox. Some of us appreciated you.
Yeah, hey, Bobby, great career. You died too soon. You left us too soon. Kind of like Philip.
No question.
I would have just, today.
John's a little panicky now. He's thinking, holy smokes, those are two major foundations of my entire on-air presence. What am I going to do now? Somebody out there, I'm just telling you.
Is Cam Newton in good health? I mean,
somebody out there, John's looking around. He's looking around for a new boy to whip up on. You guys better be careful. You members of the media, especially you Auburn media, you baseball guys, you better watch out because he's searching now. He's looking for somebody
first break,
to take up the slack.
In all seriousness, I hope all the moms out there had a wonderful Mother's Day, beautiful day yesterday to celebrate moms all over the world. You just don't know how much your mom means to you till she's not there. So make sure that you took care of that yesterday. And if you didn't, shame on you.
There you go. Had a great Mother's Day. And hope you did right and you went to Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry.
Like Coach Bryant said, I wish I could have called my mama today.
Yeah. That was ad-libbed. That was ad-libbed at the end of the, what was it, Southern Bell or South Central Bell or something like that. Have you called your mama today? Sure wish I could call mine. That last part, he just hit off the top of his head.
Yeah,
and
that's still a tearjerker.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Well, we are underway. Yeah. We might as well close the program up because John's hit the big stuff already here. Whew, you got
to pace yourself, I'm told.
That's exactly right. 18 minutes into our first live hour of the Monday show. It's Longshore and McKnight. Lots of stuff coming up a little bit later on. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Drive away in a Ford F-150 or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Truck and 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Drawings May 29th and 30th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. About 19 minutes past the hour on this Monday. How about this, Barry? I mean, this is a great thing. I had to go downstairs and put something in front of or outside the front door. Somebody's coming to pick it up. And a gentleman that I know.
Is it an envelope?
No, it's actually a package. It's actually
okay.
Guy's got to go pick something up.
Okay.
I brought him something home from across state lines. How about that? Yeah. And he's picking it up.
Right.
And I saw this guy, don't know him well, and he's walking down my street. And he's got his phone in his hand. He's looking at it, and he looks at me, and he shows his phone and goes, "Hey, man, I'm watching y'all right now." I went, "Oh, man, thanks. Awesome. That's great."
Kind of makes his morning walk go by
Yeah, exactly.
a little bit quicker.
He certainly does. So he's out walking today, listening to Longshore McKnight on his phone, which you can do as well, watching as well, I'm sure. He needs to watch where he's going, make sure he doesn't, walk into traffic or anything. But, so we appreciate that. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. So many ways to watch us. Yellowhammer News, yellowhammernews.com. The Yellowhammer News Facebook page.
Yep.
Our man, we got that taken care of. Baylor up there took care of that for us. Had a little glitch, and we got that corrected on Friday. Also, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Spotify, iTunes. So many ways to check us out. A lot of people put it through their Bluetooth, Barry, in their vehicle, and they listen that way. A lot of people tell us that. So really appreciate that. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button.
That's the best way to listen live as we're going is, just running the YouTube stuff through there. If you can it's always on demand at Spotify and some of the other ones, iTunes that John talks about. You can listen to it all the time, anytime, as much as you want. And we're kind of proud about that. So, yep. The world of sports, we've kind of hit on the news of the day. The Braves have only won World Series championship. Cam Newton is healthy as we know it. Let's see. The Major League Baseball TV contract is not that great. I think we've covered all the news as of right now. The one thing you're talking about, the Big Ten contract with Fox, and I don't know the first thing about the World Series coverage yet. That's a long way off, and that's TV. But the Big Ten has lapped the SEC in so many things. They've won 3 straight championships, 3 different teams in football. They've won the national championship in men's basketball. They are kicking butt and taking names financially right now. They are winning right now. I think in any way you can measure it, they are winning in the tug of war as far as college football playoff expansion. Sankey wants 16 from the SEC. The Big Ten wants 24 with Tony Petitti. And the American Football Coaches Association has voted they are going to recommend 24. So what has the SEC got? Well, they've got men's golf, women's golf, and softball. The NCAA softball tournament, the Big Ten is out to lunch there. 6 of the top 8 seeds are from the SEC. The top 3 of the top 4, Alabama, Texas, and Oklahoma. They got it going on.
But Barry,
so you got that.
I hate to.
I don't
want to diminish the importance of that. I don't know any other way to put it. But it kind of gets into something I wanted to get into with what's good enough. What is good enough? Is a tennis doubles championship good enough? It's fine. It's okay. But that's not what the masses want. That's not what they're talking about. That's not what energizes them, gets them excited, gets them to pull that checkbook out and make a big donation or buy a big ticket package for the football team.
Which is the only reason why anybody even participates in intercollegiate athletics.
Well, I don't know about participating, but I think it's I think it's a big reason why people participate as fans in intercollegiate athletics. I mean, the numbers will tell you that. But it is great. I mean, hey, Bama's the number 1 seed in women's softball. I saw Patrick Murphy talk about well, and this was a tough blow, Barry. I got to tell you, I'm sure you know this. I didn't till I heard talking about it. Huntsville is going to host the SEC softball tournament next year.
Oh, I didn't know that. a neutral a neutral site. They were in Lexington this year.
Years ago on this show, somebody not only made the suggestion that Montgomery should bid for the SEC men's baseball tournament, which I got laughed at, and it got taken out of context because the former mayor didn't like what I said on TV about it. But I was actually very much promoting the fact that I wanted the baseball tournament here in Montgomery. I just thought the chances would be slim. That's the only part they put on TV when I said that. So I had to correct that with former Mayor Todd Strange, but it's all good. But I also said the same thing about softball. Montgomery has a long history of softball. Lagoon Park was built 40 years ago, and it's been revamped and modernized and whatnot. There's softball fields all over the place. And I thought, what a great spot. Why not have the SEC softball tournament? Nope. Heading to Huntsville. What isn't? Everything's heading up there. About to be the largest city in the state.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how the baseball tournament in Hoover gets good crowds, and in turn, the players experience big crowds, and they go to the regionals and super regionals in Omaha, and they're used to playing in front of big crowds. And that was kind of what he was getting at with the tournament in Huntsville. You know, he says, and I guess a softball crowd, 8,000 is a really good crowd for softball.
Heck yeah.
He mentioned, if we get 8,000 in Huntsville and then move on to, the next level, the regionals and super regionals, and our girls will be used to be playing in front of big crowds. And I'm hearing that, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I wanted Montgomery to get this thing, not Huntsville. Well, when this happened? He was pretty excited about it.
I always thought
we got a white park, though. They could have come down here and, they could have zipped through wastewater for a couple of 3 days. I guess they can. I don't even know if the place is open anymore.
It's called Whitewater, John, not wastewater.
Change the name.
Wastewater.
Yeah. I think they just wasted $80 million putting that thing together.
But I always thought that they would stay with the campus sites, because I was thinking that very likely a lot of these SEC schools are sick about coming to Montgomery for everything. I mean, to Alabama for everything. Why has it got to be in Huntsville? Why has it got to be in Hoover? Why can't we move it around a little bit?
They'll give you centralized, a central location.
Which is true. I mean, you look at a map, you can tell it's true.
They called it the heart of Dixie. I don't know if that's politically correct.
It is not.
I think it's still on the tag and some of the car tags. And why it's not politically correct, I don't know. But it is in the middle of the South.
I think it's that song. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Don't they still play it at Ole Miss games?
Oh, I don't know. Whew. But yeah, I'm all about Montgomery.
Yeah.
I know the Sun Belt baseball tournament is, gosh, the teams love it. The attendance has not been super great, and it has been in several places in the past. But the teams love Montgomery. The families love Montgomery. Why not something like that? Why not the SEC dipping a toe into Montgomery?
You got to take a chance, Barry. Columbus did. Look what happened.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, but I think we got bigger problems to deal with.
Well, and you mentioned that, and you've got, the NCAA softball tournament gets underway. Alabama loses pretty bad in the conference tournament championship game to Texas, but they're still the number one overall seed. They're hosting in Tuscaloosa for like the 31st straight time or something like that.
Yeah.
Against Southeastern Louisiana, Belmont, and South Carolina upstate.
Oh, Barry, I'm glad you clarified that.
They ain't losing in this regional.
How dumb of me. I swear, Barry, I thought that was Southern Cal upstate.
No.
They're bringing a school from California to Tuscaloosa that I've never heard. I've never even heard of this one either.
No, it'd be called USC NoCal if that was the case. But Yeah, South Carolina Upstate
Uh-huh.
is in Aiken, South Carolina.
All right.
So they're playing. They ain't losing. Heck, South Carolina Upstate, Belmont, and Southeastern Louisiana. Nobody. They may not even score against Alabama.
Let me ask you this,
whole thing.
Could Auburn have beaten any of those teams?
Yes. Yeah. Auburn.
You shouldn't laugh at your own material. I've always heard that.
Yeah, especially when it comes to Auburn, because all John has to do is say Auburn, and all of a sudden it becomes a rib tickler. All of a sudden it just. I mean, the laughs laugh themselves.
This is. I got to tell you, I did. A smile came across my face late yesterday afternoon, early evening, when my phone started dinging. River Region Straw VIP text line. Actually, and a couple of my frat buddies, too, texted me as well. Oh, thank you.
I thought that's all that was on your.
That's cute.
I thought that's all that was on your.
No, I got a lot of. I'd say there's a vast majority of non-frat brothers that are on the VIP text line.
There's a vast number on that chat line.
Yeah.
I've looked over at Stivers, and I'm thinking, that thing sounds like a marimba band going off over there. You tell Barry.
And I thought, see, this is what I've been talking about. You win this little you get beaten this little SEC tournament thing, but hey, you're still a number one seed. That's all that matters. I mean, this little tournament get together, hold hands, and unite as the SEC. Oh, look at us. Who cares? Now we're getting to the big dance. This is what it's all about. It's kind of like losing a football game to your in-state rival, but still winning the national championship.
That is the comparison there. Can I make a comparison here as well? John very intelligently warned you people about this. And here we are. It's mid-May. We're still Memorial Day away from the state of the SEC report, which we are researching and compiling.
I'm glad you brought that up, Barry. Let me just to real quickly interject this since you brought it up. Today is the
11th.
The 11th. I'm looking at my calendar here. So Memorial Day is going to be on the 25th. Yeah. So Friday the 22nd, a week from this Friday. Where I was right and where I was wrong. We're going to look back over the last 12 months. I'm going to go to the vault, pull it out. It's been hermetically sealed of the predictions I made the Friday before Memorial Day last year. I haven't looked at them.
No.
They're going to be, I'm going to refresh myself as well.
It's a time lock on the safe,
That's
basically.
Right. We'll go over where I was right and where I was wrong, and then I'll give you some bold predictions for the next 12 months.
Basically, the feature, and it's always entertaining, the feature consists of four things. Where I was right, where I was wrong, predictions for the next year, and why I really wasn't wrong on a couple of those because nobody knew that this was going to happen. Yeah. And if I had known that there will be, again, where I was right, where I was wrong, predictions for the future, and excuses.
It's how you look at it.
All right, I'll look at it this way. I was right, except who knew that the quarterback was going to throw it right to that defensive back and, lose the game or whatever.
There could be some partial credit. Barry, I was a big partial credit guy.
Yeah.
I'm looking for any partial credit I could have gotten when I was in school, and I would work the teachers over. I mean, even through college. So partial credit, I'm a big fan of partial credit.
Now, partial credit won't get you an A, but it gives you a better chance of not getting an F.
Yeah. You can pass with partial credit.
That's exactly right. Now, my point is this.
Similar
and I thought John was.
If you're happy with your grade and don't want to take the exam, you can leave right now.
John, many times, never even heard the end of that sentence. He was already out the door by the time that sentence was concluded. Now, this is what I was leading up to. I thought John very intelligently years ago and for several years brought this up. And it was kind of a wet blanket, but he was right. He said, look, Bama fans, someday this run that the Tide is on is going to ebb. It's going to slow up. It ain't going to be like this all the time. And all the kids who have been in the championship conversation every year of their lives, they're like, no, that can't be. We'll always be. And John says, I'm telling you, history tells us that this cannot continue at the level to which to which Saban has done it. And he's right. Here's the point. There's going to come a time, people, where at least people are hoping that Auburn is going to be really good in football again. They've been really good in football too much in the past, and they care too much about it to not be really good in football at some point in the future. They have been really good in basketball, no championships, except the NIT this year, which people still take the opportunity to make fun of.
Hey, speaking of that, Barry, somebody did want to know, is there a softball NIT?
No, there is not.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I don't think so. Who cares? The baseball team has been good. They're good this year. Men's golf, women's tennis. There is going to come a time when Auburn is going to be really good at virtually everything. Women's basketball has been good many, many years ago. They're terrible. Just get ready for it. John is going to have to work a little bit. It may happen when the name Cam Newton is a distant memory, and so maybe it loses a little oomph. Who knows? Maybe the Cam Newton references have lost a little oomph anyway. After all, it was 16 years ago. But Auburn's going to be good in football. They'll win 5-6 Iron Bowls in a row like they've done in the past. They'll be really good at basketball. They'll be really good at baseball. Women's basketball, softball will be back, to a national contender. And you guys are going to struggle with that. All of this stuff, hey, tell Ask if the Aubs made it and all this. So I'm just telling you, there is a day of reckoning coming. And all of this, the easy laughs about Auburn, the chuckles just mentioning their names, hey, did Auburn make the tournament? You're going to know good and well they did make the tournament. So hang in there. I'll say
this, Barry.
These good times for Alabama, actually, there's been more conversation among Alabama fans lately about their football team than about the Auburn football team. So there's a trend that I am certainly tracking because that hasn't necessarily always been
the case.
A
good trend that you picked up on, Barry, because I do think there is a lot of concern, worry. Look, the silence is deafening. Back when things were going great and Saban was winning year after year after year, it was, isn't this great? Can I have another one, please? And you reminisced about the great seasons under Nick Saban. Now it's just not even discussed. And there again, the silence is deafening because I see the worry. I see the concern. I see it's not going to be like it used to be. And there again, it goes back to 35-point losses, 20-point losses, 17-point losses against a Florida State team that you had no business getting run off the field against. That's what they're worried about. You can win you can go 10-2, 9-3, but if you're getting blown out and embarrassed and giving the national media and the national sports scene fuel to just ridicule you, that ain't what they like. You lose by a late field goal, bad bounce of the ball. Hey, things like that happen. But unprepared, blown out, no running game, can't block anybody.
No adjustments.
And, there again, we're going to hear it all summer long. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but please somebody tell me what in the world have they done besides hire a new offensive line coach that's going to make that running game any better, that's going to make that blocking any better. I'm not expecting to see it.
Our colleagues, they're not my favorites. They've never been my favorites. Our colleagues at AL.com, they're resorting to this. Instead of what we have always been getting from AL.com, like the bass fishing reports in Mobile Bay and stuff like that. In the past, who is Alabama's biggest challenger for a national championship? That used to be what it is. Now it's, now it is what is considered progress for Kalen DeBoer. They're not talking natty. They're talking progress. How are we going to get better? Rather than who's going to challenge us for a national championship.
I mean, I just
already the worm is turning a little bit.
And say what you will about Bob, love my man Bob, but I think he's spot on about this offensive line issue. And I'm not convinced that a new offensive line coach is going to wave a magic wand and these guys are going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't see it. And I'll ask you again, if the freshman phenom Crowell is not 100% healthy, who is going to be the bell cow running back for this Crimson Tide team? I've said it before, since Johnny Musso, they have, which is my first recollection of Alabama football, they have had a bell cow running back every year, at least one guy. They didn't last year.
Game on the line. Need a first down to salt away this win or to keep this game-winning drive alive. We're giving the ball to.
You know what they were doing, Barry? They ran some gimmick play to Caden Proctor. That's what they had to do because they didn't have anybody that could do it.
Or they dropped back and were looking for Jeremy Bernard and Simpson got sacked or something. So, yeah.
So, but, when the fall rolls around and we're hearing the same old can't block, can't run, look, it'd be nice to see something different and improved.
Yes, it would.
But I'm still trying to get over these people that were watching practice and were coming back and telling everybody how wonderful and great this Alabama offensive line was. I thought these guys knew what they were looking at.
More coming in just a moment. We'll take our break right now. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for $13,000 off. Broncos $12,000 off. Expeditions $10,000 off. And Bronco Sports $9,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s, $18,000 off. Super Duties, $2,000 under invoice. And Lightnings, $16,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. 15 minutes to the top of the hour on this Monday. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Barry, have you seen the new Budweiser cans? I meant to bring one. I got to show it to you. It looks great. America's 250th birthday is this 4th of July. Man, the can looks great. I don't want to try to describe it because I won't give it justice, but I'm bringing one tomorrow to show everybody. It looks great. Our good friends at Bama Budweiser, the king of beers, and we'll show that to you. But it looks great. Everybody's getting cranked up
for the 250.
Is it? Is it old school? Is it an old school?
Well, it's really more about America. It says America on it, and then it's the same Budweiser colors and basically design, but it's at the top. It says America on it. I think it says Budweiser lower down the can, but it really looks good. I'll bring one. We need a display anyway. I'll use it as a display and put it on there. And my oldest daughter lives in D.C., and I hear her talk about the 250th celebration that's going to be going on up there at the nation's capital. I mean, she's not even coming home for the 4th of July. I'm kind of bummed about that. I mean, golly, it's like a tradition, but I get it. You only turn 250 once. So she'll be up there with all of those festivities. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's that can right there. Awesome.
I'm busy working behind the scenes here. That is pretty sweet.
We need to use that with some of our Budweiser spots that we run. We'll put that on the screen. That would be great. But I think that's only somebody did tell me, Barry, when I saw that, they said, the only thing missing on there is Trump somewhere on that. I went, it's kind of the first thing I thought of too, but you can't have it everywhere. But that's good. Look, it doesn't even say Budweiser on it.
It's got amazing. The famous crest on it and all of that. I mean, John, that's a Budweiser.
Oh, heck, a red white sandwich. That's what we called them when we grew up.
Yeah.
When we were, legal, old enough. Speaking of Trump, Bear, I'm watching the senior tour yesterday, or is it the Champions Tour? I get confused. And there was a guy playing, and I'd never heard of him before, but he was in one of the final groups. Boo Weekley. Remember Boo Weekley from the PGA Tour?
I do know him, yeah.
Boo Weekley wins the event yesterday, bogey free the whole tournament. Did not make a bogey the entire tournament. His last putt on 18 to win it yesterday, he's got about a 4-footer. It makes a victory lap around the hole and goes in to make for another par. He had like a 4-shot lead. It didn't really matter. But this one guy that was playing in the group behind him, if I'm not mistaken, or in front of him, the group in front of him, had a hat on that said Trump. And I'm thinking, is that from Trump's golf course, or is it
Towers,
just a big supporter? Or
Casino?
And I heard some fan say something about it, but it caught my attention because I thought, you don't really see the networks focusing on that if it's not really a political event. But it was, I thought it was odd and just something that you don't expect to see.
No kidding.
Like that.
No kidding.
It wasn't a MAGA hat, but it just said Trump on it. And I went, that's interesting. All right. We're going to use that. I'm glad that you was able to pull that can up. We'll use that throughout the spring and summer with some of our Budweiser spots because, man, that thing looks good.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot. I know we're kind of, what do you call it when you're just kind of freewheeling around? I know.
We're riffing here.
Riffing.
We're riffing.
So our friend Dudley, Barry, this is a great question.
Oh, love Doug. That's my guy.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it. And I got to tell you, I am not familiar with UFL overtime rules.
I couldn't tell. I mean, I'll look it up if you want. I did see Dudley's a great contributor, great guy, big friend of ours for a long time. And as John is fond of saying, it's big ob. So Dudley says the Stallions won in overtime Saturday. Can we talk about the OT rules in the UFL? I think the NCAA should adopt those rules. Now, everybody is screaming about what a poor job that A.J. McCarron is doing as the head coach of the Stallions.
Experience does he have?
All right. As of let's see if we can get this. UFL overtime rules. I thought I had it. If overtime playing rules.
And they won the game in overtime, or they blocked a field goal.
All right. In overtime, you get 3. If it's tied at the end of regulation.
Yep.
In overtime, you get 3 attempts to score from the 5-yard line. If after 3 attempts for each team, the tie hasn't been broken, the teams will alternate attempts until there's a winner. Like if you score from the 5-yard line all 3 times, they've got to do it. If you score twice, they've got to do 3 and everything. If after that the tie is still not broken, they'll alternate attempts until there's a winner from the 5-yard line. Now, you can go and you can never score from the 5-yard line, and that keeps going on over and over and over again. Now,
Barry, I don't really like and in college, eventually you got to go for 2, and then you got to
alternate going.
That year they went into like 4 overtimes, and they ran some play from the 2. I don't know if I like that. Here's what I like. Similar to basketball, just put 5 minutes on the clock, or say 8 minutes, whatever. Just play a real game. Get the punters and the kickers and everything involved. Why you got to put it on the 35? Just kick it off and let's play.
Yeah, that's one of the things Coach Summerall always used to tell me. He's a special teams guy. He came up as a special teams coach. Is that overtime takes away special teams?
Yeah,
it does. I mean, you can kick a field goal and everything, but there's no field position. There's no punting, there's no punt block, there's no chance for an overtime punt return, stuff like that. So I get that.
I guess the only thing, if you, for instance, you go to overtime,
yeah,
you put 6-7 minutes on the clock, flip a coin, receive the ball. I guess technically you could eat a bunch of clock up. You could get the ball and just start running it. Obviously, you got to move the chains. But if you go on a 5-6 minute drive and then score and give the other team 40 seconds. So I guess that's probably not fair. Basically, if you win the coin toss, you can run the ball pretty well. You make a couple of first downs, that clock's running. So I guess you couldn't do that in football. I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Will the fans appreciate that? Will the fans like?
But isn't that how it's done in the NFL, basically? Because now you got to, if you go down there and kick a field goal, the other team gets the ball. And if they score a touchdown, it's over.
Yeah. Or if you miss a field goal or, you're for some like short on first down, all they're doing is running the quarterback into the middle of the field to kick the field goal to win it.
But they do kick it off, though. They don't get it at the 35 in the NFL, I don't believe. I think they actually do kick the thing off.
You're right. You're right.
Which I do kind of like. I don't know. To me, the college overtime is a little gimmicky.
Well, you get that LSU-Arkansas game. Was it LSU-Arkansas or Texas? That went Texas A&M overtime. There were like 8 overtimes. And you see like 73-70 or something like that. And those stats count. And it doesn't, like that Iron Bowl.
Yeah.
One year, I mean, everybody was exhausted, and Mechie catches just a little hitch, and there's your game. So
was that a rub route? Did anybody complain about somebody getting? I love that term. That was a rub route.
Yeah, that means you rub the other guy just enough to where he can't cover your guy.
Kind of like that Clemson player in that championship game,
which was always my thought. If you're going to complain about the rub route on Roy Upchurch, which was blatant in the Iron Bowl, if you're going to complain about Hunter Renfro with the rub route. To win the game for Clemson with 2 seconds to go in the Natty against Alabama, then you can't be going, what, Mechie? I didn't say what is this rub route of which you speak? You can't be acting all innocent about it.
It's a different play altogether, but it is similar. By the way, I did see the airplane double feature on Saturday night. It was great. No, it was on Comedy Central. I couldn't remember the channel.
Man, this segment has got a Budweiser can and an airplane reference. By gosh, I love America.
Barry, it's similar to a lineman downfield. It's a tough one to call, kind of like a rub route. It's a judgment call.
Yeah,
but
Bama fans are out there. Bama fans are screenshotting that. They're getting the calipers out. They're getting the slide rule and going, he is 3 6.001 yards downfield from the spot where the ball is snapped. Look at where the ball is snapped right here at that millimeter, and then you see that shouldn't have counted.
Yeah,
that was cheating.
Oh yeah. Don't forget the chop block. I was getting to that. I was getting to that.
Boy, John is hitting all the tried and true. John is getting all the. This is Retro America's Top 40. We take you back to 1978.
Maybe I know I've told Barry. I know I've told Barry this. I don't know if I've told our audience this before.
I am betting that you have.
Yeah, pardon me if I have. So I'm at the Jets-Saints game last December in New Orleans at the Superdome. I get it. The Jets were terrible. They weren't any good. But the Saints won the game and covered the spread, by the way. And during the game, they've got a great PA announcer at the Superdome. I don't know who that guy is, but his voice is really good. I think he's been there forever. And the Jets get flagged for a chop block. And my son looks down at me and goes, "Hey, Dad, that guy play for Auburn?"
My records show that is the 41st time.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But
it was at a dead even 40. That's number 41 time that John has told that story.
That's one of those memories that's vivid into my mind. And he looked down the row at me and went, "Hey, Dad, that guy play for Auburn?" Those are
just to give for anybody who doesn't know the reference. Auburn center Ryan Pugh and the guard, whoever the guard was, Mike Slade or somebody, were called for a chop block in the LSU game.
That's
it.
One?
That's it.
Huh.
That's it. A chop block. And now in Bama lore, in any game Auburn plays, or indeed anytime NFL, college, UFL, NAIA, midget league. Anytime there is a chop block call, Alabama fans go, "Hey, is Auburn playing?" For years, this is going to happen now. Yeah, any reference to a chop block is automatically an Auburn thing because of that one chop block that was called in 16 years ago.
And I don't know how old little man was when that actually did happen. But for him to recall it many years later at a pro game and go, "Hey, Dad, that guy," you're talking about proud, Barry. I mean, I was beaming with proud.
I have no idea that chop block that that little man remembers has been brought up during his lifetime in his presence over. And it ain't that one chop block that is burned in his memory. It's that 35 times that old man has brought up the chop block with his buddies anytime he's seen another chop block in any other game. So, yeah, I'm not sure it's a great memory, although I'm sure he has one.
Yeah.
It's that he has heard that more than just that one single solitary time.
You don't hear many chop blocks in the NFL. That's another thing that caught my attention. You just don't see that. Oh, man, great memories there. But we were talking about something else, I believe, and then I got off on the chop block thing again.
Yes, which is also the 41st time that has happened. Yes.
I am getting a lot of positive response, Barry, about is there a softball NIL? There should be.
Are you talking about NIL?
I mean,
I thought you asked me about a softball NIT.
NIT, excuse me. That's exactly what I meant. Softball NIT, not NIL, excuse me. I guess there is a softball NIL.
Oh, heck yeah. Some of those girls are making
big bucks.
Big money.
Should I assume that there are not a lot of girls on the Auburn softball team that are making big money?
You're going to have to, because I couldn't tell you.
Is
this a thing? Can we talk about anything without it coming back? Hey, is Auburn doing it? Oh, my God.
I'm just saying, I'm coming to the conclusion that since they're not very good, that they probably aren't spending a lot of NIL on softball. I mean, that seems logical.
Well, I'm not sure who is making a lot of NIL in softball. I know there are several that are making a bunch of money, especially at all the schools you know about. Texas Tech, Texas, Alabama's got some big NIL in softball. That's a thing. There's no question.
Well, I will say this, Barry. I do think I will be watching some of the. I'm not sure I'm going to be watching USC Upstate and Belmont.
I am sure he is not.
But I do like it when they get into these, regionals and stuff like that. I'll be checking it out.
It is fun. Yeah. I've watched the Sun Belt tournament. I've watched the SEC tournament. I watched I mentioned it last week. I watched Georgia and Oklahoma. That's highly, highly entertaining. It's the top of the hour.
Yeah,
hour number 2 is coming up of our live show. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw. Hey folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712. Okay, back at it here on this Monday, a couple of minutes past the top of the hour. It's hour number 2 of Longshore and McKnight. Appreciate it. If you're watching us live, that's fantastic. If you're watching us later in the day, even better. I mean, we're here 24/7, so you watch or listen on your schedule. And we know so many people do that. We really appreciate it. Keep those likes and comments coming, likes and subscriptions coming, I should say. You can send the comments as well. We appreciate
comments
that.
Are great. Yep.
Yeah, we love it.
Comments are great.
So, Barry, what is good enough? I know that's, people shouldn't say, well, we shouldn't look at it as what's good enough. We should strive to be the very best. But let's face it. In reality, there's only one champion.
Every year there's one champion, and they're happy, they're smiling, they're raising money, their fans are giving, they feel better about themselves as human beings, and that's once every year. And for everybody else who had a winning record or won a bowl game or something like that, well, we didn't win a championship, but I mean, we were good enough.
Yeah.
And of course, we're not even considering John. It's not even in John's consciousness, those 2-10 teams, those 3-9 teams. It's those teams don't even exist. Unless they're Auburn. Then those teams are like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. Are they Are they the Broncos? That kind of a thing.
Sure.
So without the teams that are average to below average, which we don't even consider, there are some schools out there that say, why would we even think about getting rid of the coach? I mean, we've won 9 games at least over the last several years, and that's good enough. And some people will say, no, it's not. It's not good enough. What is good enough?
Well, I think every school has to be judged individually, no doubt.
Yes.
A lot of different scenarios. Auburn, who you mentioned, is one of those. New head coach, new staff. So what is good enough? I think if Auburn goes 8-4, people are going to be pretty happy about that based on the last 5 or 6 seasons. Hey, 8-4, that's great.
Yeah.
But is 8-4 good enough if you lose to Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee? If you lose those 4 games, is that still good enough? Well, we're 8-4, but we didn't really beat any of the big dogs in the league. But we're 8-4.
We cleaned up on the non-conference schedule. We cleaned up against the bottom feeders in the SEC. But when we played somebody similar to us in resources, we just weren't good enough.
So let me phrase it this way. If Auburn goes 7-5, and there again, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Alabama, and Arkansas and Mississippi State. We'll throw those in there too, since they are conference foes. But if they go 7-5, but they beat Georgia for the first time in 10 years, or they beat Alabama for the first time in 6 or however many it's been, is that good enough? Hey, I know we were 7-5, but we got over on Georgia. We got over on Alabama.
That's progress. That's progress. Now, if you go 7-5 every year, or a perennial 8-4 team, you're going to get pretty tired of it after a while because you're stuck. You're not showing progress. A 7-5 year with a win over Georgia, now it ain't happening, but to John's point, that would be progress. 7-5 year for Auburn this year is different than a 7-5 year for Alabama this year. Heck, 7-5 Auburn would probably be comparable to 10-2 Alabama, especially when you're talking about, the nature of the losses or anything like that. 10 wins. We won 10 games. Yeah, but man, we made the playoff. Yeah, but it's 24 teams. Anybody who's worth anything is in the playoffs. Well, we lost our first round game, but it was close. I don't even want to hear it. There are extenuating circumstances. So a 7-5 for Auburn with a win over Georgia, that's good enough for this year, especially after the past 5 or 6 years that they've had.
I mean,
7-5 for Alabama and the play
games, I think would be, because you're having to win at Georgia or at Alabama. You got to win
kind of
on the road. So
we're getting hosed kind of year, yeah.
It's 7-5, but a win against one of those 2 teams enough? I think it depends on how you lose the other games. I mean, if it's close, competitive, fight till the end, come up a little short, but you beat a Georgia or an Alabama, not great, but better than it could have been. That might be good enough. I can see how that might be good enough.
Okay.
A long time. That's South's oldest continuous football rivalry.
The oldest continuous rivalry in the Deep South.
Needs to even up a little bit. Beating your rival.
It was even as could be.
Yeah.
Up until Kirby got there.
Got to turn that around. Alabama, on the other hand, I'm not sure what is good enough, Barry.
One more thought about that. If Auburn goes 8-4 and loses big at Georgia and loses big at Alabama, that would still be good enough. Let's not kid ourselves. You lose to Alabama, you lose to Georgia, they ain't happy, but I'm around Auburn people all the time. 8 wins would be like manna from heaven.
Yeah, I'd feel better, Barry, if they didn't get beat badly by Georgia or Alabama. If it was competitive, touchdown or less, and go 8-4, I'm feeling a lot better.
Some of those losses to Alabama have been really competitive.
17 or more, that's not what we're looking for there. But if they go 8-4, obviously they're, between Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama, they're winning a couple of those 3, which would be huge. God. Would be really big. I mean, Golich is going to be under a lot of pressure in week 3 because there's still a lot of the Auburn contingent that's scratching their head going, why is John Summerall not our coach? And you're going to hear that leading up to that game. I'll be one that'll probably bring it up because I'm still scratching my head trying to figure out why John Summerall's not the coach at Auburn.
I've known John Summerall for a long time, and I thought that's what they were doing.
I was going to make a concession I could have to get that guy to be my head coach, but there again, I'm not the athletic director, but I'm open.
I keep thinking of that, what was it, 2023 Auburn-Georgia game at Auburn. Georgia won it 27-20. Auburn had that game won. Had that game won. They had lost by a jillion. I mean, they had lost already by 21, 24, 32 in the 3 games prior. They had that game won in Auburn. Gosh, that would have been.
Yeah.
I don't know that Freeze would have still been there.
That'd have been a big win.
But would have been a big win.
That'd have been a big win.
Yeah. So
yeah, week 3.
They've had some close losses.
I think, Barry, Baylor, Southern Miss, worthless.
He went with
Florida comes to town in week 3. That's what we're going to see. That's where we're going to know if this Auburn team's for real. If they can make something happen.
I don't know that we can go the whole year and they're not going to be for real like what they're going to be. I don't think, or what they hope to be.
Yeah.
I don't think this is an are they for real season, but it would be a really good game to win.
You know what the headline's going to be on Sunday if Florida comes into Jordan-Hare and wins? If Auburn had only hired this guy.
Oh, that would have been the undertone from the fans. There's no doubt about it. If Summerall comes into Jordan-Hare and wins that game by double digits, I don't know about the headlines, but the bunker and the Tiger ticket board and heck, John can name all of the Auburn.
I just wonder how would Phillip have framed it if he was still with us.
You've got to move on, John.
Florida wins that game. How would he? Yeah, let's move on. Let's go on to the Tide. Now, Barry, this one's tricky.
I don't think so.
I mean, you just re-signed your coach, $90 million buyout. You're stuck, Bama fan. You were stuck.
I wouldn't term it that way.
You can sit here and go through these 12 games and go, well, if and or but. It don't matter. I mean, the guy goes 0-12. They going to fire him? No.
Bob from Pike Road, I love you. We read a lot of your stuff, but you're wrong about this. Unless just the absolute wheels fall off or there's NCAA violations, which aren't likely. Nobody gets dinged for those anymore. It don't matter if their offensive line isn't any good this year. It doesn't matter whether the running game is off the mark. It doesn't matter that, the buyout ain't nothing. They ain't doing it. They are not getting rid of Kalen DeBoer. I know you're frustrated. Everybody would be frustrated. And I'm not saying they're not frustrated, but you ain't getting rid of them. That is not
based
happening.
on what we've seen out of DeBoer and based on what we know. They're pretty excited about their quarterbacks, but they're green. They hadn't had a lot of collegiate action. The running game.
We use the phrase running game, meaning that, the idea that you can hand the football to a running back and he can gain significant positive yardage. That's what the running game, that's what we're referring to, although it may not necessarily apply to Alabama. That's what we mean, Bama fans, when we're talking about running game. Block the line of scrimmage, hand it off to a running back. He'll break a tackle or two, get yards after contact, and get upfield for 4 or 5, 6 yards.
I know maybe it's not fair because there were so many game changers, so many playmakers offensively for Alabama under Saban. I just don't see him on this team. Is Ryan Williams going to get back to his freshman playing ability? We'll see. Any other wide receivers out there remind you of some of the group that was there during Saban?
Oh, now you're going to get people wound up.
But we'll see. I haven't seen them since. But Barry, before they go to Athens for the 6th game of the regular season, they're gonna play crappy against one of those first 5, if not 2. I'm not saying they're gonna lose it, but
South Carolina or at Mississippi State, one of those
South
2.
Carolina, and hey,
or
somebody's
Kentucky.
already predicted I'm grabbing the points in Kentucky at home against Alabama in week 2.
So in that sense,
win, but they're going to cover the spread.
In that sense, I get what you're saying about it being tricky, because those are some tricky games. But in the great broad scheme of things, Alabama's season isn't tricky. You lose 3 games in the regular season with that schedule, they're going to be ticked. There ain't no tricky about it. Well, the 3 games, at least 2 of them were relatively close. No, people ain't going to want to hear rationalizations or try to ease the blow or anything for a 9-3 year. Ain't no tricky about it. They're going to be hacked off.
And Barry, they go to Athens. They lose by 3.
Late field goal. Okay.
I guess you can stomach that a lot better than losing by 23.
But you still can't stomach it easy.
The next week, then you got A&M the next week, and then you got an off week before you go to Baton Rouge. So that 4-game stretch right there, there is no room for error prior to that Georgia game. But I know I got a good feeling. I'm not saying they're going to lose one of those first 5, but they're going to be 1, maybe 2 of that first 5 where you're scratching your head going, lucky to win that one.
And for some Alabama people, the translation in their minds of lucky to win that one means loss.
I can remember a South Carolina game last year in Columbia. I can remember one in Tuscaloosa a couple of years ago. They were lucky to get out of there with a win. Is that what they're in for again this year? Are they going to be lucky to go to Lexington and get out with a win? I mean, I guess getting out with a win, Barry, is a lot better than losing by 17.
Yes. But the fans aren't, again, not going to be happy. I can't believe we struggled so badly against South Carolina. I mean, South Carolina. We are going to Hades in a handbasket.
Has Bama at 8.5. That's their over-under for total number of wins. I've asked this question many a year. Would you, viewer, listener, be confident to walk up to the window at a sports book in Vegas and put $5,000 on the counter and say Bama's going to win more than 8.5 games? Would you be willing to do that today? Do you have enough confidence to do that? A lot of people will tell you they will, but when you got to pull money out of your pocket and put it out there on the table, maybe you're not as confident as you thought you were.
John's always said that. That's never resonated with me. Like, you give them a cost money. Okay. I've never, maybe if I did, maybe if
anybody can say, yeah, we're going to win. We're going undefeated. Okay. Boom. Put your money where your mouth is. Let's see how confident you are in that. It's amazing. You pull money. It's like with credit cards. It's a lot easier to pull that credit card out and pay for something than it is to start peeling off 20s. Ooh, I don't know if I want this as much as I thought I did.
Yeah, one of my best buddies is a banker. I don't know that, we spend a lot of time on the road. I don't know that I've seen him more than 5 times ever take his credit card out. He's pulling out cash, and not because he likes to flaunt a bankroll. Far from it. He just is mindful, okay, this is how much it is costing me instead of sign here, sir. So
I mean, think about it. Is it not harder to pay something when you're peeling cash off? I think you think about it more. Ooh, really?
Well, when we come back,
speaking of cash,
the Phantom's Daily Dog.
Woo!
Uh-oh. I'm starting to get vibes as to how it went on Friday. It's Longshore and McKnight. Glad you're along with us here. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry is an Alabama-based, family-owned and operated business that specializes in dry cleaning and laundry, serving the river region since 1941. There are 12 convenient locations across the river region. Find one close to you or call 481-1911 for free pickup and delivery. For 83 years, Central Alabama has trusted Jim Massey's Cleaners and Laundry. You should too.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Conquer the runway at the Montgomery Regional Airport Runway 5K, Saturday, May the 30th from 7:30 until 10 a.m. Proceeds benefiting the River Region United Way. Here's your chance to run on the Montgomery Regional Airport runway. It's a great time for the entire family. For more information, just scan the QR code on the screen or visit iflymgm.com. The Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it, with Delta, American, and United Airlines serving MGM with routes to Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. The Montgomery Regional Airport 5K Runway Run, Saturday, May the 30th. Register now for a great day of fun at MGM. Okay, welcome back in. Glad you're with us here on this Monday, about 23 minutes past the hour. Tobias has chimed in with always some great takes. Love this one. Yeah, that was the biggest winner last week, Tobias. Don't have to go to Stillwater in a couple of years. Oh, Greg Byrne, I applaud you for that.
I don't get that. I don't get that. He said the biggest winner from the past week is John Longshore because he didn't have to travel to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Yeah. Will your cell phone work in Stillwater? He also says this about Alabama. Let's go back to Tobias. Get ready.
Yep.
The running game has been bad since Brian Robinson left school. The offensive line has been bad since Bryce Young was the quarterback. No one said anything because they won games. Plus, he says, everyone said Alabama would struggle at South Carolina last offseason. Mm-hmm. That happened as expected, yet y'all were mad despite the fact that we knew it was going to be a tough one? Yes. Yeah. See, Tobias, you get caught up, and I love you, but you get caught up in this. Bama fans, number one, I didn't hear from a lot of people that South Carolina is going to be tough because South Carolina is not tough.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. So, maybe that's because I'm not as plugged in as you, and I'm certainly not as plugged in as John about what's going on at Alabama. But number two, it ain't that the fans were saying, oh, South Carolina ought to be a tough one. The fans are saying South Carolina should never be a tough one. Yeah. Alabama should never struggle against South Carolina, no matter what. You see their history, you see their football budget, you see their fan base is really good. In terms of numbers, I'd say they're relatively comparable to Alabama, but that's what the people were mad about. If you look at the X's and the O's, South Carolina will do things to stretch Alabama's perimeter defensively, and if Alabama cannot handle the North, people don't want to hear that. They want to hear Alabama wins comfortably against South Carolina. Let's move on to another game.
That's what they want to hear, Barry. And, DeBoer's beaten Auburn, and he's beaten Georgia, and he's beaten Tennessee and LSU. Great. But what he's got to really concentrate and make a point this season, you can't lose to teams you're not supposed to be getting beat by. You can't get beat by 20 points. I mean, that kind of stuff's got to stop. And if he can go through a 12-game regular season and say they go 9-3, but those 3 losses are by a touchdown or less, it isn't going to be great, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better than getting beat by 20 and being embarrassed.
Do you remember this? I'm sure you do. That's a rhetorical question. Strike that. Last year, some of the losses at the beginning or middle of the year were, Florida State, They were Georgia in the championship game, were games that Alabama fell behind and couldn't do a dang thing about. Everybody was complaining about the lack of adjustments at halftime. If so-and-so, if that's not working, if we're struggling, we need to do this instead. Everybody was griping about that.
Yep.
And then you get to the Oklahoma game in the playoff, and they take a sock in the mouth early, and you think, oh, boy, here we go. But, but they put their spear in the sand, and they came back, and they won. You think, finally, that is a signature win for Kalen DeBoer. Made adjustments, didn't panic, were able to come back and win a game in the postseason. That's a turning point. You watch. That'll be the game upon which Kalen DeBoer's career at Alabama will turn positively. And then Indiana in the Rose Bowl. And you're thinking, what in the world was that? And you're back at square one in terms of your regard for Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, just tough. Very, very tough.
Everybody thought that Oklahoma thing was, that was a big win. Man, finally they made some adjustments and they didn't panic. And, defensively, defense ain't the problem.
That just delayed the inevitable, Barry. And the inevitable was Indiana, because Bama fan was thinking at halftime, I can't even remember how that game played out in Norman during that playoff game, that, here we go again. Going to get embarrassed. Oklahoma's going to beat us. We're one and done in the playoff.
But it didn't happen. And everybody thought, all right, okay.
It did happen the next week. And there again, whether it's fair or not. But if Alabama doesn't make the 12-team playoff, and based on some of the preseason rankings I'm seeing, I know it's early, but some of them that I'm seeing, they're like the 4th or 5th best team in the SEC by these so-called experts. Is the 4th or 5th best team in the SEC going to make the college football playoff? I don't think so. So then
it'll be close, but I don't think so. And Bob, this is my point. You're exactly right. Bob from Pike Road says, the point is, Smitty, it darn sure shouldn't have happened. That is not okay. Playing football like that is not okay at the capstone. It'll never be okay. That's what everybody's seeing. Yeah, and that's what I was just saying. Bob's exactly right. People ain't saying, well, South Carolina is good. Their quarterback is a top 8 NFL prospect in the upcoming draft. We knew that he's a good player, and Alabama has always had problems with running quarterbacks. We knew it would be a difficult game. Bama fans don't want to hear that. They want to hear, that's South Carolina. We go in there, we take names, we kick butt, we get out of there, and South Carolina realizes how far they are from being at a championship level. You're right. You're right.
You know, man, an 11 o'clock kick on New Year's morning from Orlando in the Capital One Bowl, that is not going to go over well. Not going to go. I know what you're thinking. Oh, there's plenty of teams that would die for that opportunity. Bama fan doesn't want to hear that. So what?
They don't want. They ain't dying for that one. Now, in terms
or Tampa, wherever that game's being played. Oh boy.
Well, now we come down. The clock on the wall tells us that our hearts and minds turn towards what happened in the Phantoms Daily Dog and what is coming up.
That's right.
In the Phantoms Daily
Well, Barry, it was the Stop the Bleeding game on Friday. We were not having a good week.
Which is rare.
Of a losing week. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. We Pop-Tart Bowl. They go to the Pop-Tart Bowl, they might pay that $90 million out.
Bob from Pike Road said it's called the U-Haul at the front door game. Okay.
So, Barry, this was the Stop the Bleeding game. It's a fact. We were going to have a losing weekend. It just was, how bad of a losing weekend was it going to be? But we did stop the bleeding, Barry. Now, we do hope that people out there were not chasing money thinking, oh, the Phantom's got a hit. Oh, he's due for a winner.
Never do that.
Doubling, tripling, quadrupling up on this and getting right on this one game.
If you knew anything about the Phantom, you know the old adage, never chase money.
Never.
Ever.
Stupid. We got plenty of time to get things right. We're going to do that here in just a minute with our game today.
But we got to recap Friday.
We had the New York Knicks at Philadelphia catching 1.5. Didn't need it. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Phantom, you were probably a little nervous after the first quarter. Okay, we were down by 4, but we're catching 1.5. Then we get hot in the second quarter and win the second quarter by 11 points. So we're in the lead at halftime. We clip them by 1 in the third quarter and beat them by 5 in the fourth. You add it all up, it's 108-94. Plus you're getting a 1.5. Didn't need it. Win the game. So we're 2-3 last week. Not great, obviously. Losing week, but it's better than 1-4.
Can I say this? And we'll talk about the rest of it. This was a game played in Philly, right?
Yep.
And here, this is from the game story, yahoosports.com.
Right, let's hear it.
In Philly.
Okay.
Despite pleas from Joel Embiid and the best efforts of the 76ers ticket office, plenty of Knicks fans, including celebrity supporters Spike Lee, Tracy Morgan, Timothy Chalamet, Ben Stiller, and Fat Joe.
Oh, I love Fat Joe.
Love Fat Joe. He's a good dude. Yeah. Populated Xfinity Mobile Arena and provided loud support for the road team. Once again, the Sixers' home court sounded like Madison Square Garden East.
Yeah.
End quote.
It's kind of like when the Cubs come to Atlanta to play the Braves. It's awesome.
See, you got to let me set it up, John, because that's where I was headed, and John has zero patience when it comes to dissing the Braves. That's a bad feeling. I mean, these are the Philadelphia, by gosh, 70. Philadelphia's got 4 million people in that town. And the 76ers, one of their stars, it wasn't Embiid, it was one of the other guys, and I'm trying to remember who it was. Yeah, Jalen Brunson. He had 33 in that game. Yeah, Jalen Brunson afterwards, in the post-game press conference, somebody asked him about it. He says, I'm not going to lie, that does suck.
Barry Brunson's a heck of a player. I've talked about him a lot. I've watched him in that series through with the Hawks and now the 76ers. He can flat out play.
He's good.
That guy can make it from anywhere.
Yeah. So
you got to double team him.
Anyway, in case anybody knows or cares or hasn't heard, that's a winner for the Phantom.
It is a winner.
To get the Knicks to 3-0 in that series, and they end up beating the dog snot out of them on Sunday by 30 to advance in a sweep over Philadelphia. But that was Sunday.
That they do. So now, big win. Glad we could get that win there for you. But now we got to look at, today. It's all about today. What have you done for me lately?
Doing? Yes.
I don't want to hear about, wasn't that great? No,
Are we still riding the NBA here?
Yeah, we are. Yes. And things are getting interesting now because there's some series that are still being played. Some have already wrapped up.
The Knicks are resting.
We might, believe it or not, have to throw some baseball in the equation this week, depending on how these games play out.
Come on now.
But tonight, Barry, we have got the Detroit Pistons at the Cleveland Cavaliers. We've also got the OKC Thunder at the Lakers. OKC can eliminate, just knock the Lakers out. LeBron's done.
It's a 3-0 series right there.
3-0 series. Do the Lakers have anything left in the tank to win tonight? I don't know. I don't care because the Lakers have already bit me twice, and I'm off the Lakers.
Heck with them.
Heck with them. So we're going to go to Cleveland. The mistake by the lake. The Cavaliers hosting the Detroit Pistons tonight, 7 p.m. tip on NBC.
Anytime you get Detroit and Cleveland together, those are literally two of the least scenic cities in the United States of America.
Yeah. I mean, why is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland? I've always wondered that. I've never been to Cleveland. I don't plan to go to Cleveland. I just wonder about that. So tonight, Detroit's rolling into town with a 2-1 lead in this series.
Correct.
The East semifinals, and Detroit is catching 3.5. I believe the Detroit Pistons won their division, won the Eastern Conference. They had the best record in the Eastern Conference in the regular season. This is at Rocket Arena in Cleveland. Barry, we're going to take the visiting team catching 3.5 tonight to go up 3-1. Yeah, we think they can win this game outright, but we'll take the 3.5 just in case there's a little insurance policy. So 7 o'clock tonight, Detroit plus 3.5 is the Phantoms' daily dog.
I like it.
That's what we got.
Also, real quick, just for planning purposes later on, somebody tweeted yesterday, I want to see, this is the Super Bowl week for every NFL team's social media producers. You know, every team's got people. Every school, Alabama's got people, Auburn's got people, Troy's got some really good people. My brother Mike does this for LAFC out in Los Angeles. That are their social media team, little snippets, little videos, graphics, and all that kind of stuff. He said this week is Super Bowl week for all of the social media teams of the NFL because this is NFL schedule reveal week.
Oh, what day?
Well, I should have known that before. I think it's Wednesday, but I could be wrong.
Ooh. Well, whatever day
this
it is
the
next day, we'll and they'll be breaking those schedules down.
Yeah.
Love
yeah, that's why I'm asking.
You know why, Barry?
Do we think it's a big deal?
Everybody know how many Sunday 3 o'clock kicks, Sunday night, Monday night games the Cowboys are going to play in.
The full 2026 NFL schedule arrives May the 14th. That's Friday?
Thursday.
May the 14th. It arrives on Thursday, not Wednesday.
Yeah.
They will. There's a couple of them that we kind of already know about because of the partners and all that kind of stuff. The NFL, or that we will know about. The entire international schedule will be unveiled on Wednesday. That's what I heard because I'm a Jags fan and they always play an international game. The NFL will play a record-setting 9 international games this upcoming year. All of those games will be revealed on May the 13th, Wednesday, at 8 a.m. Central Time on Good Morning Football. And then the whole rest of it will be announced at 7 a.m. on Thursday on the NFL Network and ESPN2. So 2 games have already been set for week 1. The 49ers and the Rams will play September 10th in Australia, and the Seahawks play somebody on Wednesday, September the 9th, which is just the second time in 75 years that the NFL opens on a Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yes, it'll open up Wednesday, September 9th at Seattle on NBC. Oh, there is a Wednesday game opening day.
Now, there are going to be more of these international games, so get ready.
There are 9 this year.
You know, the Saints are playing in Paris this fall. If you go to like this, or you Google Saints Paris or Bobby Hebert, because the Bobby Hebert is promoting it. You get to go to Paris with Bobby Hebert. I'd love to. Wouldn't you love to go to Paris with the Cajun gunslinger? What do they call that? What was his nickname?
The Cajun Cannon or something.
The Cajun Cannon. Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, parts of New Orleans only speak French anyway.
Yeah.
We do know that the Rams will take on the 49ers in Melbourne, Australia.
Wow.
We do know the Cowboys and the Ravens play in Rio de Janeiro.
Wow.
The Jaguars.
Didn't Pablo Cruz have a song about Rio?
When my baby smiles at me, I go to Rio de Janeiro. Saints in Paris. They haven't had that opponent yet. 49ers play in Mexico City. Jags will play back-to-back in London. There are 3 games in London.
Why are they building this new stadium? Heck, they play 2 games away from.
I know it's tough to be a Jags fan because those are home games. You know, you're taking away. All right, the Commanders will play in London. The Lions will play in Munich, and the Falcons will play in Madrid. Now, the French media is saying that the Saints will play Week 7. That October the 25th, and the early money, Gunner, Hunt, Becky, is that it's going to be against the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland? Why Cleveland? Oh, they're looking for a team they can beat. Oh, I get it. I was in Mexico
that's a big
City
deal.
last summer. I just don't know why I don't know. Mexico City is a big place, and it's kind of dirty, and it's very high elevation. It's kind of like Denver.
They smell.
But it seems like I think the Raiders, people in Mexico, I think I talked about this when I got back from Mexico City last year. The Raiders gear was everywhere. Everybody loves the Raiders in Mexico. How that just seems like that would be a Mexico kind of team, the Raiders. Seems the Raiders ought to be going down there, not San Francisco. I don't get that one.
Well, let's take a break.
Okay.
More coming up in just a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Declaration of Deals sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokee's over 11 grand off or 0% for 5 years. Encompasses 5 grand off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deals sales event is on at Stivers. New Ram, 16 grand off or 0% financing. And heavy duties, 13 grand off. With Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Conquer the runway at the Montgomery Regional Airport Runway 5K, Saturday, May the 30th from 7:30 until 10 a.m. Proceeds benefiting the River Region United Way. Here's your chance to run on the Montgomery Regional Airport runway. It's a great time for the entire family. For more information, just scan the QR code on the screen or visit iflymgm.com. The Montgomery Regional Airport, getting better the more you use it, with Delta, American, and United Airlines serving MGM with routes to Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. The Montgomery Regional Airport 5K Runway Run, Saturday, May the 30th. Register now for a great day of fun at MGM. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
All righty, welcome back in. Glad you're with us here on a Monday on the program. And we've had a ton of stuff to talk about today. It's kind of a fun Monday, go recapping everything that has been happening. And a sad note, we started off with Bobby Cox, the longtime manager of the Atlanta Braves, passed away. Oh, I think it was on Friday. Barry sent me the text on Friday, I think.
It was Friday. 84 years old. He had been suffering illness for a while, but he's just old. I mean, and Ted Turner, I almost said it like this, and I don't want to say it like this. I will not say that he made it to 87. That's not that. Ted had a certain zest for living. There's no doubt about it. Maybe I'm trying to figure out whether being married to Jane Fonda added years to his life or took years away. Maybe it's just a wash because she's very healthy. But a difficult week for Atlanta sports fans.
Yeah, boy, man.
Ted Turner started CNN in their best days.
In 1980, I believe it was. I believe CNN
used to be all right. It was the very first,
where CNN got crazy, Barry, is when they went so left wing, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, we can't get into that.
But one of my favorites, they did a sports show every night at 10 o'clock.
Nick and Hick.
Yes, Fred Hickman and Nick
Charles.
They were great.
They were awesome. Great energy, great, rapport amongst each other. There were times early on, CNN, particularly Nick and Hick, their nightly sports show would outdraw ESPN Sports Center.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I watched it. I thought Fred Hickman and Nick Charles were great.
And then, of course, you factor in Van Earl Wright.
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
Ted, you did all right for yourself.
He going deep into left field. Every time I think of Van Earl, I saw Van Earl a couple of years ago. Van Earl is actually a caddy these days. He's very proud of the fact he had some substance abuse issues that he had to get through, which he has, and he tells a very, very touching story about it. But he is caddying and loving every minute of it. And I remember talking to the late, great Jim Fife about Van Earl Wright. Jim was not a fan of Van Earl.
Jim hated him. Well, I remember we were at Southern Miss for baseball, and one of the guys that broadcast with me is a television guy in Mississippi named Will Kohlmeyer. He does Troy's football games on ESPN Plus. Great guy, and he's been around a good while. And he and Van Earl Wright are very close friends. And he was telling me about the caddying. I mean, you had mentioned it to me before, so I knew he's now a caddy. And he said he loves it. He says he had known he would if he would enjoy it this much. I mean, he basically was kind of an overnight deal at CNN. He was a last minute hire. He was working, doing the grunt work and all that kind of stuff. And he developed this.
I don't know if he was in Atlanta. He was. I was going to say.
He developed this shtick, and the first night he tried it, everybody said, hey, that's interesting. And then he went, both feet into it. In Los Angeles, where, the lowly Dodgers, and people ate it up. Yeah, and then he got a little bit too successful and, didn't handle it well. And now he is born again. He is a caddy, and he is loving life.
Loving every minute of it. He, I saw him. I was at a golf event. I'm trying to see if I can find the picture here. I don't have them organized very well. But he was at an event. I was playing in a tournament over in Atlanta. I have over the last several years during football season. And for this event, they bring caddies in from around other courses there in the Atlanta area. And Van Earl was there one year, and I went up, introduced myself again. He remembered me. He actually took me on a tour of CNN years and years and years ago. I'd been a guest on the radio show, and I said, hey, next time I'm in Atlanta, I'd love, he goes, man, look me up. I'd love to take you on a tour, which he did, which was very interesting at the time, but just a super nice guy.
Yeah, big fan.
He had some tough goes of it, and he'll tell you about it, and as happy as he can be. If a team ran a toss sweep, Barry, he would describe it as, well, they toss it to Ezra James in the backfield. He makes the cut. He's headed down the field. Look.
Get him go.
He would pause. Yeah. And I'd sit there and wait to hear. I would make a point to watch Van Earl because he was so colorful. I thought he was interesting. He made listening to sports and watching it.
He always signed up, Van Earl Wright, Headline Sports. Yeah.
That ball's hit deep into left field.
Yeah.
Man, they just don't make them like that anymore. Good guy, Van Earl Wright. All right, I see the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic.
Oh, yeah, we better
warming up in the green room.
Yeah.
There will be 6 topics, ladies and gentlemen, that we have no idea what they are. We're seeing them for the first time, as you are.
Here we go.
Makes it fun.
Let's fire it off. It's all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
That's true.
Let's fire it off. Get it going.
Here we go. And it's
6 of 8.
6 of 8. Okay.
I think I know. Yeah, in the NCAA softball tournament bracket, of course, the defending champion is Texas. They're the number 2 seed. Oklahoma had won like 4 championships before. They're 3. Alabama, they got boat raced by Texas in the SEC tournament championship game. Number 1 overall seed. SEC has got 15 softball teams. The only one that doesn't is Vanderbilt. 15 softball teams. 12 of them did. Notably, according to John, one of them that did not make it.
Oh, don't say it.
Is an SEC team from the state of Alabama. Regional play starts Friday. Look at this. Okay, all right. I didn't know this. I know Alabama's really good. Alabama didn't catch a break in the seeding. The Crimson Tide could face Belmont superstar pitcher Maya Johnson in regional play. She leads the nation with an 0.66 ERA and the number 3 pick in the Athletes Unlimited Softball League draft. But then again, who has she played?
Really?
I mean, if she's got an 0.66 ERA and she's playing Lipscomb and East Tennessee State, please.
You know, Barry, that's kind of like rushing for over 1,200 yards and not facing a defense better than 74th.
That is so Cam Petway. It's unbelievable. Yeah, but it starts 6 of the top 8 seeds in the upcoming tournament are from the SEC. Finally, this year, SEC can do something better than the Big Ten, it looks like.
There you have it.
All right.
All right. Good stuff there. Yeah. Let's spin away and see what left. 5 more topics, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere.
Here we go.
See what's coming up next. Ooh.
That one's a little sticky. This is rule change. Ooh, we like rule changes. We like talking about them. Rule change. In the truest, Wayne Riley, who I don't know who he is, Christopher Raytan.
Yeah.
He should have been penalized on the 14th hole. Okay, here's the deal. Keep it here, Gurn. Raytan was involved in an interesting incident on the 14th hole as he prepared to hit his birdie putt. The Norwegian backed off after realizing that his ball had moved. Replays ultimately showed that Raytan seemed to push the ball ever so slightly with his putter. It did seemingly fall back into its original spot. Nevertheless, he made sure to check with the rules official before making the 3. He did not receive a penalty with players. Wait a minute, I didn't know you could do this. Players are allowed to replace the ball if they accidentally move it. But Riley said he's not entirely comfortable with this situation. I think if you do touch it when you're over it, it should be a one-shot penalty.
Yeah. You know, Barry,
it's kind of like touching your checker piece. You know, how you touch it.
I actually had that, something similar to that happened to me years and years and years ago. I was playing in a very serious tournament. And we ended up winning the hole, but I stepped over the putt It's about a 5-6 footer. And I saw the ball move as well. Now, I had not addressed it. I had not put my putter behind the ball. I was in the process of doing it, but I had not gotten the putter flush to the ball. And the ball moved I saw it move, but it moved back into its original position. I don't know if an ant was underneath it or there was a grain.
The ground was marshy or something.
Or a grain of sand or something that made it just twitch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to do the same thing. I actually looked at my playing partner and I said, I think that ball moved. He goes, I know it did, but you weren't addressing the ball. So play it as is. I made the putt, beat the guy on that putt.
No repercussions.
No.
The guy didn't say, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. I saw that ball move. There was nothing like that.
Now, I also had a friend of mine, Barry. He's an incredible chipper, got a great short game. I saw him take his club back from the ball. As he was taking it back, the ball moved a little bit. Yeah. He hit the ball and chipped it in the hole. I went, whoa. That ball moved. He goes, no, it didn't. What are you talking about? It was more of a funsy kind of just, wasn't a real tournament type atmosphere. But
so you let it go.
Can't let it go.
All
right, 4 more to go. Let's see what we got. I think we get
Mr. Rulefaller over here. He was always that way back at the radio station. Yeah. The producer, our operations guy, our program director, he said, do something. John said, yes, sir.
Good offer. Okay. What do we got here? Good offer.
As opposed to a strong offer.
Yeah.
Right. Good offer.
Gotta be Will Wade.
Oh, yeah. Steve Kerr is back with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
They were going to give him $7 million.
$7 million
to go to ESPN.
Jeez.
But he was offered a 2-year contract to return as Golden State head coach. He deserves it. He's going to be making more than $17 million a year, and he's a socialist. Anyway, ESPN was willing to pay him up to $7 million, and they were willing to meet almost any condition he put forward, including a specific exemption from hot take panel shows. In other words, I'll work for ESPN, and I'll do your games, and I'll do your be in your studio, or I'll be on the live broadcast, but I ain't being on First Take. I ain't being on Stephen A. I ain't doing that stuff. Man, you've got to be a heavy hitter to be able to say that, because that's all they want nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Is the hot take shows. Anyway.
Huh. All right. Well, good for him. Right. I didn't know he was a socialist. That's I've learned something.
No. I'm being facetious. He's not a socialist. I like Steve Kerr. I do. I like him. He's very, very liberal, but I like him. I have liberal friends.
Barry, believe it or not, I do too. Kind of like Albs. Got liberal friends, got all friends. I'm just a well-rounded guy. All right.
Not your cats.
Ooh, my wife wants a cat something bad. Wow. Put this off way too long.
2 alligators violently fighting on her porch. Ave Maria, Florida, which is down in the peninsula. A mom says she thought somebody was breaking in.
Yeah.
Alligators.
I'm seeing way too many alligator stories, Barry.
Yeah, they call this a night. We called it a Florida room when we were growing up. She's like, I thought somebody was breaking in, and it was 2 alligators. I guess they were fighting to either get in or they saw a cat.
Yeah,
coming in there.
Too many alligator stories.
She said, she said, it definitely looked like they were fighting over territory or something. It wasn't like a mating ritual that I had seen. How many times has she seen alligator mating rituals? That's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't be telling everybody that, hey, I've been looking at videos of alligators mating. That's not cool. Anyway, good one from Gurn. We like those sprinkled in every once in a while. Yeah, they are very territorial. They don't like you messing with your stuff. Lighten up, Francis. Okay, yeah.
All right. Spin away. What do we got? Here we have it. Red and blue. Gone hunting.
Okay. Gone hunting and day trader.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I know somebody who took part in this, who actually traveled down from the Panhandle to take part in this. Now, down in the Everglades and stuff, down in the swamps, South Florida, those pythons are everywhere. I mean, pythons love them some Everglades. They breed there, they live there, they kill all the, I mean, if you're a small wild pig in there, you ain't got a chance. So they have a 10-day period where everybody comes down and they hunt pythons. I mean, I don't know if you get like paid for it or, per python or anything like that, but they descend on it. And I mean, those pythons are bad news. If you're not paying attention, they can squeeze you.
Flew into Miami. We're flying over the Everglades, and then boom, here comes a neighborhood. I'm going, these houses that are right up against the Everglades, why do you want to live there?
I loved living in Florida.
Yard, alligators coming into your yard, God knows what else.
I grew up in Florida, and I loved it, but I always wondered about that too, And they complain. They say, hey, there's an alligator in my front yard. Well, no. Your front yard is where the alligator lives.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it the wrong way. You're in his territory. Oh, man, there's snakes in my backyard. Well, you live on a creek.
I mean, just put a prison out there. That's all it's good for, like Alligator Alley, whatever they call that thing.
It is, Tamiami Trail.
Yeah,
one more.
One more to go. They do. Down in the Tensas Delta near Mobile, they have an alligator hunting period. My nephew participated in it one year.
I've said they got a python hunting period down in Florida. Day trader. You ever done that?
No, I got some buddies that have gotten into that. I ain't got time for that.
Ohio State coach Ryan Day, his son's a pretty good player. He's a quarterback. RJ.
Okay.
Has been recruited and everything. His dad says, no, not going to do it. He is committed to Northwestern.
Okay.
He had offers from Purdue, Syracuse, Cincinnati, and South Florida. He's not ranked by ESPN, but he's getting offers and all over there. And meanwhile, his dad's looking up at the ceiling and whistling, dum, 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 dum. Hey, Dad, what about me? Well, no, he didn't get offered by Ohio State. That's got to be tough. Man, Dad. Man. How about it?
Help a brother out. I mean,
no
come on.
Kidding. That's hardcore right there.
No doubt, that's tough stuff.
I mean, you think it's bad? Why in the world isn't Kalen DeBoer's daughter playing softball at Alabama?
He's got to crisscross the country to go watch it.
Why
are they in the tournament? Maybe Washington and Alabama will get together in a little postseason action. That'd be fun.
Having your quarterback playing at Northwestern.
Who do you think DeBoer would be cheering for? That's something to look out for, folks.
I know who I'd be cheering for, and I don't care who knows it. I'd be cheering for my child.
Yeah.
Every day and twice on Sunday.
All right, so tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, Gurn Sr. is going to be pitch hitting tomorrow. Barry's traveling with Troy baseball.
Yep.
Y'all got the UABs tomorrow?
Yeah, we begin it's our final long road trip of the regular year. We've had a bunch in basketball and baseball and everything I know. But
what's up with this UAB softball coach?
We're going to find out. She, I know her very, very well. I've known her since she was a child.
She's in a little hot water.
There is some trouble, no question. Well, I'll be back on Wednesday when they start to trickle in the NFL schedule reveal. Big game, big one on Thursday. We'll get into that as well. For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.